family, welcome into the Paint by Number series number 3. We have done 2 others in this series. The first one was Makeup Revolution Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. The second one was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. So I will link those below if you would like to see the paint by numbers that we are doing. It has been so much fun and I've gotten so much amazing feedback from you guys. So I'm going to be recreating this look today with the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I had this one in my makeup collection and a couple of you said that you would really like to see this, so this is what I'm going to be using today. Next time I was going to do the Sweet Peach, but next time I think I'm going to use the Carly Bible Deluxe palette because I had a lot of you request that one, so I think I'm going to use that Carly one. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. If you're new to my channel and you've never been here before, thank you so much for dropping by. Please subscribe by clicking the red button below. Give me a big old thumbs up, hit the bell, all those fun good things that YouTubers always tell you guys. It really does help me out as a YouTuber if you do all of those things, and besides, I would love to have you here as a part of this crazy kooky family that we have going on. So let's get right into it so you guys can see this look that I created with the Too Faced Chocolate Bar with a little bit of a twist on it. So let's get into it. Oakley dokley, people. Hopefully you're in close enough. Let me pin my hair back or clip my hair back here out of this eye so you can see. Okay, so the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I didn't know if I really wanted to do a tutorial on this one with my Paint by Number series, just because it's a very, very neutral palette. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an extremely neutral eye, but what I did is I did a little bit of a twist on it and I put in the eye line some blue liner. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is get our trusty tape out and get a piece and get it on me. And remember, go from the tail of your eyebrow to the corner of your eye, leaving about 1/8 of an inch out so that when your corner comes in, it can blend really easily. Okay, so lay that down. I know a lot of you don't like the tape. If you don't like the tape, you can hold a card up, like a credit card or something, or a piece of paper there, or you can just take a wipe when you're done and wipe away a straight line if you'd like to do that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is prime the eyelid. Right now I'm just using this Sigma eyeshadow primer. The only reason I'm using it is because I need to use it up, and I'm getting it in a brush because also I like to use my fingers normally, but it is getting dried out a little bit, so I can't really use my fingers right now. So I'm going to just go all across my lid and coating it well. This is a really dry product, so it doesn't matter how much of it I use because it's not going to crease on me if I put too much on. So after that, I'm going to use a Real Techniques brush. I don't know what this one is called, something eyeshadow. I will try to throw those up because I know that that's irritating when somebody says, I don't know what it's called. So yeah, I'll try to throw those up on the screen to let you know. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into color number 1, which is this color right here. Okay, I'm going to hold this really still for a second. Again, color number 1 is right here. And it is just a matte white, and it is called White Chocolate. And all I'm going to do is take it all the way all over the eyelid, the entire eyelid up to the brow bone, because what we're doing is we are creating a canvas for our eyeshadow to go on. And if any of you wonder, well, how in the world are you going to get your eyeshadow to grab after you put on primer but then you put a powder right on top of it? The reason that we do that, the eyeshadow primer itself keeps whenever you're sweating or you have oils on your eyelid, it keeps that from coming through and grabbing onto your eyeshadow and taking it and creasing it. So when you do this part on top of that, then you're keeping the eyeshadow primer from creasing. So there is a method to the madness, even though it does seem quite mad. Okay, so the first brush I'm using is a Luxie 205 brush. Most of my brushes that I'm going to show you today I've gotten in kits. I don't really have anything specifically that I can tell you, oh, go buy this brush. I do like the Morphe M433, and there is another one that I can hardly ever remember. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into this color right here, and I believe this is strawberry something. Strawberry Bonbon. Okay, if we're going to go into Strawberry Bonbon right there, I'm going to hold it really still. This is color number 2, Strawberry Bonbon. And again, I always tell you guys this, but load that brush, load it like crazy, because this is an extra light color, and tap it off. And then we're just gonna start laying that color down, and I'm not going to be terribly precise with this particular color because it's so light. I'm only doing this particular color because I thought it would be a little bit deeper, but it ended up not being, but I've got to match my other eye. So if you want to skip this color, you can, but it just kind of gave it just a little bit to adhere to. Okay, color number 3, I'm going to pick up with a Luxie 229 brush, and this color is going to be Salted Caramel, and that is right here. Salted Caramel is number 3. Okay, and then I'm just laying my brush down in there, and I'm picking up a ton, tapping off like crazy, and we are starting to actually do the first transition color. So basically I start at that outer corner where I want most of the color deposited, and then I am working my way over and just going towards the inner corner. So I'm actually almost working in a straight line with a tiny bit of an arch, if you guys can see that as I'm working. So Salted Caramel again, picking a lot of it up, color number 3, and then just laying it down, and we are just creating this first base or this first transition to go and have our look on. This is a very, very simple tutorial that you guys this time until I get into switching over to the night look. So we're just blending this one like crazy. Blend, 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 ladies. Okay, now that I have that color in place, what I want to do now is I want to take a color that I feel like will lighten up my lid but is daytime appropriate and not a bright bam in your face color. So I'm going to go into this color right here, which is Champagne Truffle, and this is color number 4, Champagne Truffle. All I'm using on this one is a sponge tip applicator. And I'm just picking the product up quite a bit there, and I'm just going to lay it down across the lid. And the reason that I'm doing it right now is because I've been finding lately that when I do this color before I actually do the deeper color, that I'm liking it a lot more because the transfer is less, and it helps with that. So I'm just laying that down a bit, going all the way into the corner, bringing it up a tiny bit there in the corner, but not a lot so that it looks weird. And we're done with that. Okay, color number 5 is Semi-Sweet. It's this color right here. Color number 5 is Semi-Sweet. And Semi-Sweet I am going to be picking up with a flat shader brush. It's got a domed top. I do not have a name on this one. I picked up so many brushes through the years in kits, and I keep the ones I like and I throw away the ones I don't. So yeah, so we're going into color number 5, Semi-Sweet, and this time I'm not picking up a ton, a good amount but not a ton, okay? So I'm going to tap that off. This one I really want to tap off because I don't want this look to get too dark too fast. So I tap that off, and my tape's coming away a little bit. Can you see that? So I'm going to just tap that down a little bit to keep it tighter. And then I'm just going to begin to go into that corner. I mean, I'm going right down into the corner of the eye. I'm not going into the crease yet, just into the corner of the lid space. Not the brow bone up here, just the lid space. And as you guys saw last time, I did a little bit of an angle on it. This time I'm not going to do that. This time I'm going to stay clear out here. I'm going to pick up some more of color number 5, which is Semi-Sweet. Tap it off, and I'm just going to again go into there to get this to build up dark enough. And now what I'm going to do with what's left on the brush is I'm going to go right down in the crease and just blend it over a little bit, about 2/3 of the way over, I would say. Okay, and now because I always do just a tiny bit of a wing, I'm going to pull it up. This is, again, daytime appropriate, so I'm going to just pull it up just a little bit with the deeper color. Okay, so guess what? we are already done with the top part of the eye. This is way more simple than I've ever done a look for you guys, but I really wanted to do it because I think you guys are looking for something that is very simple and very everyday. So now I just pulled my tape off, and what we're going to do now is we're going to work on the rest of the eye. So setting the palette aside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is a Highbrow by Benefit. It is just a pencil that is kind of a flesh tone pink bright color, and I'm just going to put it right underneath there. I do know that NYX has one of these that you could use that is really nice too. But I feel like doing this step, besides defining your eyebrow and making your eyebrow look really pretty, doing that step just gives it a little bit of extra lift right there. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back with the sponge tip applicator, and then color number 4 I'm going to put onto that sponge tip applicator, and we're going to go into this inner corner of the eye. Now, the reason that I feel like this is daytime appropriate, even though it looks quite bright, is that you want that in the corner of your eye to make your eyes look wide awake. If you have a lot of dullness in that corner in there, you're going to look tired. So we put that little dab, just a little bit, and then just, you know, kind of blend it out just a tiny bit to make our eyes just kind of pop. Before we go into any eyeliner or anything like that, we are going to be going into color number 6. And color number 6 is this blue, kind of bluish grayish on the cool tone side, and this one is called Candied Violet. So I'm going to hold that real still for a second so the camera can pick that up. This one's Candied Violet. What I'm going to use, I've suggested this to you guys before in my other videos. This is the NYX Mixing Medium. This turns any eyeshadow that you have into a long wearing liner. So I'm just putting a teeny tiny dot of that mixing medium on my hand, which is, it's too much actually. Hopefully you guys can see that. My viewfinder is about this big, and so I keep trying to look at things that there's no way I can look at them. Okay, so that color we're picking up on a pencil brush. This pencil brush is from Royal and Langnickel, and I do really like this, but again, I got it in a set a long time ago. I've suggested to you guys that pencil brushes are the way to go for liner brushes and smudger brushes, and they really truly are wonderful. So I'm just rolling my brush around in there, picking up actually a good amount of product. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that mixing medium, and I'm going to mix that color on the back of my hand so that I'm picking up shadow and mixing medium together. And this has a nice point on it. So what I'm going to do now, even though my hands are shaky like crazy, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just start dusting that across my bottom lash line and just making the eyeliner. And I'm going to make quite a thin line of that. Okay, what I want you to notice at this point, now you could stop at this point and put your mascara on and just be done for the day. Nothing in your waterline, nothing, you know, too drastic. Daytime appropriate, office appropriate, lovely look. It's not too deep, it's not too dark. It's an everyday, very beautiful eye look. So you could stop right there if you wanted to. But knowing me and who I am, so I'm gonna go for the glam. Like I always do. I go a little bit overboard, you guys know I do. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this NYX Slide On Glide On waterproof pencil, and this is in the color Sunrise Blue. I love this color. It's absolutely gorgeous. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my inner rim, and I'm going to just take that and line it all across. This stays so well, almost better than any other high-end liner that I've ever tried. Okay, so now we have that pop of blue. I feel like your eyes just instantly brighten up and pop forward, especially if you have brown eyes, if you have green eyes, if you have dark eyes, whatever. Even if you have blue eyes, your eyes are going to pop instantly forward. So I'm going to take some more of that same color, but I'm picking up quite a bit more, and then I'm going to go back into the mixing medium, and I'm just going to smudge the two colors together now. And I'm going to make that line a little bit heavier is what I'm going to do. so. And then I'm just going to pull it just a tiny bit out to the other eyeshadows. If you guys take a look right now, you can see that the two sides are matching up really well. But what I want to do is I want to go even further. And what I want to do is I want to deepen this look just a little bit. Because I know that there's some of you that like a little bit more of a dramatic look. So this is my shadow switch. And it is just, you lay your brush in there and clean it off. So I'm just doing that with that flat shader brush that I used earlier. Now I'm going to go into Cherry Cordial, which is right here, and this is color number 7. And I'm going to transform both sides of this look. So color number 7, Cherry Cordial, go ahead and put your brush down in that, both sides, lay it down really well in there, and then tap it off. And what you're gonna do now is we're gonna deepen this whole entire look up. And so we're gonna just take it down into there, and it's going to go crossed and a little bit high, just to make the look a little bit more, just to make the look a little bit more smoky, a little bit more dramatic. Okay, I'm picking up more product now, tapping it off, and then I'm going to go to this other eye because it doesn't have that on there. And just taking it in that very corner, again, just pushing my brush into that very corner and then lifting it just a little bit through the corner and across the crease. Just a little bit higher. Okay, so can you see how that kind of deepened it up a little bit? It kind of did a little bit extra. So now I'm going to take that same brush. I'm not switching brushes right here. And I'm just going to just go right there in the corner on the bottom. And I'm just going to really deepen up that corner bottom, just to give that a little bit extra shadow with whatever's left on my brush. So now we have the completed look from here. Now listen, you could have just done the color to go all over your lid, and then you could have gone in with the salted caramel and then just a little bit of the semi-sweet. You could have been done with your look, smudge the semi-sweet underneath, totally done, no problem. I just make this a little bit more intricate because I know that this series is to teach you guys how to do a little bit more of a complicated look. So I like to do that for you guys. So you could have just stopped right there. Now, one more thing that I'm going to show you that could really make this look much more dramatic. This is completely optional, and a lot of people do this, but they, like I said, it's completely optional, which is tightlining the top line. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that with this eye, and then I'm going to, actually I'll do it with this eye because it doesn't have any mascara on it. I'm going to do it with this eye, and then you can see the difference between the two. Okay, so that was fairly easy, and what that tight lining does, or what that water line does on the top, is it actually gives you more lid space, because lots of people don't like to have that lid space right there compromised with like a black liner, but you totally can do a black liner on the top if that's what you want to do. So now I'm going to do the other one. And what that does is it actually opens up your eye and makes your mascara, your eyelashes and your mascara kind of pop and kind of look more fanned out. Okay, so all I have left is 2 coats of mascara, and I'll be right back with you to talk to you about the look. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this installment number 3 of Paint by Numbers. I really do love doing this series for you guys. This wasn't my favorite palette to work with, but I know that a lot of you have it out there, and I had it and I thought, well, it's a staple. It's one that's been around forever, so it's probably one that everybody could use. If you don't have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, don't worry. Just use what you have and just stick with the guidelines of what I was telling you. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. That is everything for today's video. Please give this a thumbs up if you like these Paint by Numbers series. I'm not getting a lot of views on these videos, but I know that there are so many that would absolutely love it if they just found it. So if you guys give it a thumbs up, it can get out there into the YouTube community, and I would really, really appreciate it. So that's everything. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful week, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye, guys.